Hi dear students, welcome to Geeta's classes. Now we are going to revise Unit 5, the last unit of M1. So in Unit 5 it is functions of several variables. So first we have seen partial differentiation. Whenever you have independent variable, single independent variable, y is a function of single independent variable, there it is total differentiation. Whenever you have, whenever you get more than one independent variable, there comes partial differentiation. In partial differentiation, we have seen chain rule and total differentiation also. See, suppose z is a function of r and s, or x comma y, where x is a function of t and y is also another function of t. That is, always I have taught you to write it in terms of tree diagram, right? So z is a function of x and y, and x and y are in turn functions of t. So now ultimately z is a function of single variable t. So if you want to differentiate z with respect to single variable t only, okay? Therefore, whenever you have a single variable, it is total differentiation. This is total differentiation. But directly you are not able to, you won't be able to differentiate with respect to t, but because it is a function of x and x in turn function of t. So what can you do? Z you have to differentiate with respect to x, then differentiate x with respect to t, and differentiate z with respect to y, then differentiate y with respect to t. Now z is a function of two variables, therefore dou, partial differentiation. So dou z by dou x into dou x by dou, here x is a function of single variable, so dx by dt, right? Plus dou z by, through y also you can come. So dou z by dou y into dy by dt. Or you can write it as simply as dou z by dou x into dx plus dou z by dou y into dy. Okay, this is called total differentiation. And partial differentiation, suppose if you have u is a function of r and s, and v is also function of r and s, and r and s are in turn functions of x and y. That is, u is a function of r and s, r is a function of x and y. Whenever you draw this tree diagram, it will be very easy. You will never make mistake. So v also is a function of r and s, r is a function of x and y, s is also a function of x and y, right? Now, if you, now ultimately u is a function of x and y. Similarly, v is also a function of x and y, right? So now if you want to differentiate u with respect to x, you can differentiate, with respect to y also you can differentiate. Therefore, whenever you get more than one variable, there comes partial differentiation. So dou u by dou x. So from u you have to go to x and y. So through r you can go, through s also you can go. So dou u by dou r into dou r by dou x. This is one possibility. Or through s also you can go. So dou u by dou s into dou s by dou x. Similarly, dou u by dou y if you want, from u to y, through r, through s. Okay. So dou u by dou r into dou r by dou y plus dou u by dou s into dou s by dou y. Because partial differentiation of u with respect to y. Similarly, with respect to, for v, dou v by dou x, differentiate partially with respect to x. So dou v by dou x means from v you have to go to x. So dou v by dou r into dou r by dou x, r plus through s also you can go. So dou v by dou s into dou s by dou x. Okay. Similarly, dou v by dou y is dou v by dou r into dou r by dou y plus dou v by dou s into dou s by dou y. Okay, so these are the partial differential coefficients. And this is called chain rule. Okay, this tree diagram we have done now, that is called the chain rule. Next is Euler's theorem, homogeneous functions, and Euler's theorem we have found out, we have studied. Euler's theorem, it is applicable for homogeneous function. If u is a homogeneous function, if u is a homogeneous function of degree n, then you know that x into dou u by dou x plus y into dou u by dou y is equal to n into u. If you take z here, you have to use z. Whatever is function there, accordingly you have to write. So x into dou u by dou x plus y into dou u by dou y is equal to n into u. And two possibilities they can ask. One is verification or application. In Euler's theorem, we have seen, we have studied two. One is verification of the theorem or apply. Using Euler's theorem, prove that. That also we have studied. Okay. Then Jacobians. What is Jacobian? Jacobian of function of 2 variables and 3 variables also we have studied. In this, using this, you know what is functional dependence. You can find out functional dependence using Jacobian. Right? So what is a Jacobian? Suppose if you have u as a u is a function of x and y, and v is also another function of x and y. You can find out Jacobian of u comma v with respect to x comma y, or you can write dou u comma v with respect to dou x comma y. This is another notation of Jacobian. So here dou u by dou x, dou u by dou y, and dou v by dou x, dou v by dou y. Determinant of this is called the Jacobian. And if the Jacobian is equal to 0, similarly it can be extended for 3 variables also, dou u v w with respect to x, y, z. Okay. Now it can be extended, and you can find out the functions are dependent or independent. Functional dependence you can do by Jacobian. If the Jacobian is equal to 0, then the functions are related or dependent on each other. Okay. So if Jacobian not equal to 0, there is no relation between the functions. No relationship between the function, that is they are independent. The functions are independent. Okay, so without mentioning Jacobian, if some functions are given and if you are asked to find out whether they are dependent or independent, if is there any relationship between the functions, automatically you should be able to remember that, okay, you have to find out Jacobian. Jacobian is 0, then there is a relationship between them, you can find out easily. If Jacobian not equal to 0, there is no relationship between them, you have to say that there is no relationship, they are independent. Okay. Then next is maxima minima. In maxima minima, we have 2 variables, functions of 2 variables and 3 variables. In 3 variables, we have studied Lagrange's multipliers method. Even 3 variables can be reduced to 2 variables, and you can do as usual here, or you can use Lagrange's multipliers method. If in the exam, if it is mentioned using the Lagrange's multipliers method, you have to use that only. Okay, otherwise as you wish you can do. Now maxima minima, you know that if z is a function of, suppose a function of x comma y is given, You have to find out the maximum or minimum of this. Then what you have to do is dou f by dou x is equal to 0. That is, differentiate partially with respect to x and with respect to y, equate them to 0. Dou f by dou y is equal to 0. This is our P, this is our Q. Okay. Then equate them and solve for x and y. Solve simultaneously these two equations for x and y. You will be getting some points x1, y1, x2, y2 and so on. These are called stationary points. For each stationary point, you have to find out whether it is maximum or minimum. For that, what will you do? R is dou squared f by dou x squared. S is dou squared f by dou x dou y. And T is dou squared f by dou y squared. Don't change the order. This order is important. Okay. Then you have to find out RT minus S squared at each point. You have to find out. Then depending on this value of RT minus S squared, if it is greater than 0, it is called extreme point. If it is greater than 0, then it is extreme point. Now you have to decide whether it is maximum or minimum. For that, you have to find out, you have to substitute the same point in R. If R is greater than 0, the point is a minimum point. And if R is less than 0, then it is a maximum point. Okay. If RT, this is first condition. And second one, if RT minus S squared is less than 0, then it is neither maximum nor minimum. Neither maximum nor minimum. That is also called saddle point. Now third one is RT minus S squared equal to 0. If RT minus S squared is equal to 0, we cannot decide about the nature of the point. Further investigation is required for deciding the nature of the point. Okay. So with this, fifth unit is over. Only these points and Lagrange's multipliers method. We have to see that also. In Lagrange's multipliers method, you have to define find functions of three variables. A function of x, y, z subject to the condition phi of x, y, z is equal to 0. Whenever you are given to find the maximum or minimum of a function of x, y, z, three variables are given, definitely a relationship between x, y, z will also be given. Okay. So what is the procedure? You have to define a new function capital F of x, y, z. Define a new function f of x, y, z as small f of x, y, z plus lambda into phi of x, y, z. Okay. So capital F of x, y, z, this is the new function. This is called Lagrange's multiplier. Lambda is called the Lagrange's multiplier. Okay. Now you have to differentiate dou f by dou x, equate that to 0. Dou f by dou y, differentiate partially with respect to y, equate that to 0. Differentiate partially with respect to z, equate that to 0. Okay, now we have four relations. 1, this is equation number 2, 3 and 4. Solve for x, y, z. You eliminate lambda and try to find the value of x, y, z using these four equations. Now this may be maximum or minimum. If you get only 1 point, whatever is asked in the question, that should be taken as that point. Suppose if it is asked for find the minimum point, whatever you are getting, 1 point only if you are getting, that is the minimum point you have to assume. Okay. Suppose if you are getting more than 1 point, you have to substitute literally in the given function and find the value, using that decide whether it is maximum or minimum. Okay. That is Lagrange's multipliers method. That's all about 5th unit. You practice more problems and you practice at least for every method. If you practice 2 or 3 problems, you will be thorough with that. You will be confident. Okay. And don't get scared. If you are tensed, then whatever you study also you will forget. Okay. Don't get tensed. Whatever you have studied, it will come. and all the best. I think this time the question paper will be very easy for you, and I hope it will be very easy and everyone will be able to clear the paper. Okay, and if you clear, I'll be very happy. Thank you so much for listening and all the very best. Do well in the exam.